Hi everyone, welcome back to World of Mike the Partwork Crankle, and today we've got stage number 10, which is the last stage in this shipment's delivery of the Enterprise U.S.S. U.S.S. Enterprise D. And we're going to be basically working on the framing. We've got two support struts to put in, and then we've got to do a repeat performance of this section with the little lights on the other side. So it's going to be a really fun, enjoyable issue to finish on, and then obviously we'll get our next pack. Now the next shipment is the first shipment with our free gift, so I'm very excited to get into that. But we're going to get ourselves some BM screws now, and we've got a little support strut here which looks like this, and what's going to happen is we're going to connect it up into these slots here. They tend to go into where these like little notch parts go, so we're going to get that down a bit as best we can, and then we're going to put this, that's going to slot into, you see these two holes here, they're going to marry up with the two holes here, ready for the next frame. And it's really nice when you get to put them in, because you just know there's more framing on the way, you know. We're going to get ourselves some BM screws. I'm going to get my oil dispenser thing here, and then I'm going to just get some oil for it, and then we'll get this all secured in. So yeah, oh gosh. So where's it going? It wants it that way, doesn't it? So what we need to do is somehow, just screw that into that hole there. I have found it's, I normally use my pH0 thing, but I have found it's much easier using the actual screwdriver that's come with this shipment. Well, the first shipment, weren't it? So, which is this one here. So that's that one. I'll just give it another, yeah, that's fine. And then we'll get the other screw into position. And get a little bit of oil. And then we can secure that one in as well. Just going to move that round. Trouble is, the more it gets bigger, the more you're sort of like, where do I sort of lean on, you know? I have found the screwdriver does tend to slip a bit as well, so we just have to be a bit careful with that. Okay, so once we've got that framing on, you see how it's sort of like, that's my toothbrush fell on the floor, sorry about that. You see how it's sort of like all like balanced out? Well, we're going to put the next support strut in now, and again we've got two holes here which are going to marry up to these two holes, and they're going to go into that one. So you can pretty much see that they buffer up against each other, and we're going to get ourselves a BM screw. And we know which way this is going round, so what we'll do is we'll turn that over, and then we'll just rest it under there so that it's ready to put the screw on. They're going to go in with a BM screw. So I'm literally super excited for the next shipment. I think, obviously, I do like me electrics, but I think what's the really fun part in this build is all this framing. Just seeing it, you know, come to life. And it really does remind me of the ET spaceship. Cautious, because I don't want to... I don't want to lean on the framing, because I don't want to bow it, you know, so... It's quite difficult when you've got so much framing going on, so I'll just try and hold it as best as I can. There we go, that's that one. Oh my god, this ain't going on today, is it? What is going on with that? I'm gonna set BM screws, but interesting. Might take it down a notch because there seems to be. Let's try this PHO. It just seems like it's jumping a bit for some reason. Yeah, that's better. It's strange how the The ones they provide with these builds seem to be a little bit too on the big side for the type of screw that we're doing. Just tighten this one up as well because that one was having a bit of trouble. There we go. Cool, blimey, that was a workout. Okay, so you see like the two different like types of screw. So, okay, so that one's now all done. We'll just take this up a bit and you can pretty much see that we've now got the next lot of framing on, ready to put the next frame on to make this into a lovely little circle. So that's that part done and it's looking super, super cool. So as you can see, when we turn it over, we've got our next two frames here, and then I reckon there's going to be another frame coming around here. So that's that. That's all it wants us to do in that stage. Okay, so the next stage, we pretty much know what we're doing here. And what we're going to be doing is obviously using the right side of the windows that we've been provided here. We will need our section here that we've been doing, and we've got to put another wire in a bit later on. But what we're going to do now is basically go around doing all the cabling like we did before. So what's going to happen is, that's the left side, isn't it? So if the left side's over here, we want to work on the right side, but we've got to get that cable trained because that cable is going to get in my way. So right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the right side, which is technically upside down. This wire's got a bit in the way, you know. I think we'll work this way this time, and these are our right ones. You can see there's like a little R symbol in there, and we're going to work our way through this and get this all connected and cushy, you know. Okie doke. So we've got a black one going into this one. That's the first one, and then we need a clear on the next one. Once you do it for the first time, you tend to find that you are a bit slower, and then once you know how to do it, you sort of speed up again. So there we need a black. It's going to be really exciting to get rid of this excess sprue. I love it when you get all these parts and you've got to keep storing it, and then, you know, while you wait for the next parts to attach it to, and then you get to chuck all that away. Okay, so that's black, and then we want another black. Okay, and that's going to go in here. I don't know what's giving me this vibe, but I just feel like this side's going to go in like no tomorrow, you know. It's going to go in really easy. Okay, and we want to put a clear in there. Lovely jubbly. And then this is a nice one because it goes clear, black, clear. So this would be quite nice to do. Black clear, yeah, we'll double check it later on. I think that's got a piece of sprue still stuck on it. Yeah, I'm just going to take this one out a minute because this one's got a bit of excess sprue. Oh, actually, I think that might be okay. Yeah, I'll leave it. Okie dokie. So it actually, when you're building models like this, it makes me feel like a mechanic, because like we're like powering it up. We're putting all like these look like arteries in your body and making it all work, and yeah. Okay, so we get this part and this part here. Lovely jubbly. And that's going to go into that one. And then we want another clear. Get another clear into there. Beautiful. And then we want two blacks. So we want a black in there. going to take a little bit more excess off there. So yeah, clear, black, black, lovely jubbly. Don't take long to do. It's quite quick this stage. So it's interesting because like the first time I was like, I think if I have a memory from this build, it's going to be the first, you know, bit where I was putting the very first lights in and it all came all out and I had to sit there doing it all over again. Because remember, you're not just building a model, you're actually keeping, you've got memories like as well as you're building it. So, because once you built it, you won't be building it again. So, because then it's all done. I just like the fact that you can, you know, you can build it yourself. You don't just get it off the shop. You know, you can build it yourself. For some reason we skipped a black there, so I think they've provided us one spare of each window, so that's nice of them to do that. But we'll just double check that we've got to go. We'll check now that we've done that. So as I said, they have provided a spare black and a spare clear. That's just in case you drop some, so that's very, very nice of them to do that. So now we've got to go around and check it. So we've got black, clear, black, black, clear, clear, black, clear, clear, black, black, clear, black, and then black and clear. Lovely. Right, so let's put this over to one side, and the next stage what we've got to do is power this baby up. So obviously we're not going to, you know, power it up yet. It wants us to wait, but if you've got a test pack, if you do lots of builds like I do, you will have various test packs, but yeah, I don't have one to hand at the moment, so I don't want to split it too much. But what we need to do is, this is the right side as you can see, and what we need to do is pop. Yeah, so it looks like the grooves come up first. Okay, so the blue and red, that's going to go on the bottom side, and then you want to put your yellow and your black onto this side there. So I think what's probably easiest is if that's our empty bag. That's another enjoyment thing when you get to chuck away an empty box. But remember, the next shipment we get to put the spares in the lovely storage box that they provide. Now I'm not going to be using oil because we're not going into metal this time, but I'm going to load the screw up ready, and we just need to apply. That's going to, let's have a look, see where that's going. So let's turn that around. Hopefully it bees nice and doesn't all fall out on me, because that would be very annoying if it did that. So where does this go? So it's something like that, isn't it? But they want it that way round. So oh blimey, I've got bloody butter hands today. Okay, so where's the R? So yeah, so we want, where is it? The one up there has got the yellow and the black. And then the one down here is the, oh, see? It's one of the things I hate about my body is big hands. Because they're quite, it makes it hard work for me when I'm trying to do fiddly bits. So I think what I'll do before is, I think we went like that, didn't we? And we lowered it in and then just sort of tucked it under. So this one's going to be a bit trickier because we've got to get that under here. So I'll be very careful. We get the blue and red in first, because it's quite naughty really, because that's got a pin and this one hasn't, which is why it keeps slipping from you. That's what's really frustrating, because like that's what we need. Keep that there, yeah. I think they're saying that we bend the wire. I'm going to leave that like that. I don't fancy bending that, thank you very much. So let's see if we can tuck that. Oh, you little git. what I can do is just nicely do it sort of. Yeah, I think we've got a winner chicken dinner there. I'll show you something in a minute because I'll show you in a minute, you know, because we want to get this in first. There's one, and then we'll get 2 more BPs. This issue didn't take long at all, did it? It's been a really, really lovely, quick issue. Although we've had quite a lot to do, it's flew by, you know. That's that. And again, you don't want to over tighten it too much because you probably might break the wiring if you did that. So we'll just secure that into there like so. Now, that's that one. So I'm hoping that this is quite, oh no. Please don't do that. No, hang on. I'm having an optic illusion here, guys, because let's just double check this. So we've got yellow and black at the top and blue and red at the bottom. And just as I suspected, that's wrong. Because that needs to go there and that needs to go there. Oh, bugger. Okay. Yeah. Never mind, I can fix that, it's not a problem. Thought it was strange because that yellow wiring's at the top, you see, so I do find that a bit bizarre, but we need to fix it now. So I reckon I can just ease that out, and then if I can just lift that up a little bit. There we go. It just, when you're taking stuff apart, you don't really want to create more work, so yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier for you. Come on, man. I'm going to sort of prise that under there if I can, and of course it wants to be a pain and not go on. Can see what the problem is. It's just a little bit. Right, yeah, my plan is not going to work, I'm afraid. If I just lower that up, yeah, there we go. So what I can do now is just hook, line and sink that under there, and then just put some pressure back onto that screw to pinch it, and then we can put this back round here and just feed that under there. Yeah. Oh, please mate, I've just like literally put this in. Tell you something, this build is one of the worst for like wiring and stuff. Okay, and then that one. Yeah, okie doke. I'm going to leave that like that. I'm happy with that. We just need to put one over this side, and then I just hope and pray that it powers up, you know. Whoops. Whew. Right, so now what will happen is you've got this wire that feeds somewhere off up here, and then this wire feeds up here. Now clearly from looking at this, we can clearly see that this is obviously something's gonna trunk down the back of here, because I'm suspecting this gap is so that you put the wire through it, maybe, or maybe it goes tucked. It could go two ways. It could go up like that, or it could go down and under there and feed through here maybe, I'm not sure. But having said that, that's quite a good way to put it at the moment, because then we don't have to train these cables, you know, it's all not in a tangle. So that's what I'm going to do with mine, I think. But what's nice is that, you know, we've now got the 2 upper cables, the 2 lower cables, and then hopefully, look at that, wow, wow, wow. So as I said, the only problem is this one clicks, that one doesn't click. So if anyone can help me with that as to what you think that might be the problem. Looking at that, it could be that there's a little bit too much plastic on that pin and it just creates a bit of a friction noise as it passes through, but that one doesn't. But they do still push through the, you know, the holes there. So I'm not sure what that is. Looking at this, it does look like there's a bit of excess plastic on that pin, probably the culprit of that noise, you know. But as you can see, it's all lit up now. So yeah, I don't know if we've got to put tiny windows in there, but looking at that, it looks like we've got something going on there. But and I think we'll have some things going in there maybe. We've got numbers here saying 2 and 3. Reminds me of the Thunderbirds, you know. But that's all it wants us to do in that stage. So fingers crossed it lights up. We're not instructed to do that yet from what I can see. Having said that, I tell a lie there, which I do apologise. It says testing the lights. Test the right Windows light by plugging it into the A slot on the PCB with the battery plugged into the F slot. So my PCB is in the other room. So what I'll do is I'll do that next time, because we can just do a bit of testing the lights next time. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I forgot to bring them in here rather than get up and go and get it, and I would prefer just to do it like that really. But yeah, so until then, that's all we've done on this section here, as you can see. So we've done that part here, and we've also done this section here. So it's looking really, really big, isn't it? So now you see these RAB parts, guys, it's really taking shape now. So I'm really excited to see what's in the next pack. Obviously with the manuals, when you get to stage 10, after stage 10 it sort of goes into the story of it. So the only way I can see is through my online account, or having a sneak peek at the World of Wayne channel, so that I can, you know, see the next stages. I like to. Does anyone else do that like that? You can't resist. You've got to have a look at what the next stages are. So yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, tap that notification bell, and you'll be alerted when the next video goes up, which will be next week. And I'm really excited to get my toolbox. So the first free gift. This is really taking shape. Have a lovely evening. Take care. We'll catch you next time. Bye.